Hey guys, it's Mark from Wiki Design. Today's video, I'm going to cover the magical world of SEO. I'm going to try to have a little fun with this video because this topic can be kind of boring. So let's just jump right into it. If you ask 10 different people, what is SEO? Guess what? You're going to get 10 totally different answers. This is confusing, not only for people in the industry, but especially for clients. So I'm making this video today to kind of help better guide you on what is SEO these days and what to watch out for when hiring somebody to help you with your SEO. So let's just get right into it. The SEO industry is filled with nothing but scammers and people looking to get you locked in on a monthly retainer. I'm going to let you in on a huge secret, and you're not going to hear this very often from that many people, trust me. You don't need to worry about SEO once you get everything set up on your website. It's basically, you have to just make sure your website is optimized so Google or whatever search engine you want can crawl your website and you have everything done correctly on the back end and on the front end. Once you have that set up, guess what? All you have to do then is start creating good content and engaging and going on social media and sharing your content. It's SEO is a small part, and then it turns into marketing. So don't feel like you have to hire these companies to do SEO for you, because all they're doing is doing all the work up front, and then they're charging you a monthly retainer to do absolutely nothing. I can't tell you how many clients or how many people I've heard who have had no results after hiring an SEO company. Maybe a slight bump a little bit, but then they're like, what am I paying this company for monthly? And they don't like to hear it, but the answer is they're scamming you. That's all they're doing. So I'm going to have some fun with this video and talk about things that SEO isn't. So let's jump into it. Okay, and the first one is SEO isn't installing the Yoast plugin. I can't tell you how many times I've heard from people, hey, I have SEO. I asked them, what did you do? I installed the Yoast plugin. Ugh, I just had to shake my head, because that is just a very small part of your overall SEO strategy. These tools, which is what they are, they're just tools, Yoast and All-in-One and some of these other ones out there, they're great plugins, but they are just, like I said, tools to help you navigate some of the stuff on the front end of your website. So these tools are great for making, custom meta tags and descriptions and titles and all this type of stuff. Sitemaps, and they have a purpose, but they are just, like I said, just a little tiny part of your overall strategy. So don't think that if you just install Yoast that somehow Google's going to be like, hey, you have SEO on your website, I'm going to rank you #1. Like, that's, you have to work at it. These are just a little part. I can't stress that enough. This is just a little tiny part of your strategy. The next one is SEO isn't keyword research. You may be confused on this one, but yes, you heard me right. SEO and keyword research have nothing to do with each other. I can tell you from experience, we've spent zero to little effort, time, money, whatever you want to say, on doing keyword research for our own business. And guess what? We rank really well for the keywords that we want to target. The reason I can say that these tools or this overall strategy of keyword research is a waste of time is because there's no way that you're going to get accurate information from these tools. So if you're using tools like Ubersuggest, even if you're paying for Ahrefs or any of these big ones, they're not kicking out any accurate information. It's completely unregulated. They can just kick out whatever information they want, and you're going to believe it because you're paying, the tool or the company you're paying. You're like, oh, that must be accurate. No, it's not. It's not accurate. Do you think that you have to think about it for a second? Do these tools or these companies, they don't have any inside connections to how the Google algorithm works or any of the search engines work or what keywords are competitive or not? These algorithms are changing daily, multiple times a day. So these tools are doing nothing but playing catch up all the time. So what you need to do is not think that keyword research is a good strategy anymore. I believe it used to be, a couple years ago, I think there was a place for it. These days, I honestly believe that you need to create real solid content and do your research on the content that you're creating. So let me give you an example. Instead of wasting hours and hours and hours on the perfect keywords for a blog article that you're writing, what you could have done instead is really got deep into the topic that you're writing about. So I'll give an example, like if you are writing about insurance quotes or something, and instead of just writing about these insurance companies or whatever, what you could do is actually go ahead and start getting real custom quotes from these insurance companies and put that information on your blog. So that's doing topic research. That's where the future is in SEO. You're not going to hear this from very many people. That's because people make a living off of doing keyword research. So again, don't think that SEO moving forward has anything to do with keyword research. Next one is SEO isn't only about on-page SEO. Your overall on-page SEO strategy should still be there, but you don't need to be spending as much time on it as you used to. It used to be where you have to make sure that you have these X amount of characters in there and your keyword density and all of this stuff optimized. You don't have to worry about that nearly as much these days. You could have the most optimized page in the world, but if your content isn't good or answering people's questions on Google, well, guess what? You're just not going to get ranked. So all that time you waste on trying to make the perfect optimized page for Google, it's not going to, the end results is you're not going to rank well. The way you need to be thinking now is once you get your SEO strategy done up front, then when you start writing content, you don't think like a robot anymore. You don't try to satisfy their algorithm. Just write to human beings answering questions. It's as simple as that. I mean, that's what we do on our travel website and Wiki's website. We write blogs that actually help people. And guess what? All of these pages that we write, they help answer people's questions and they rank really, really well. And that's because we're answering people's questions and Google is rewarding us for that. It's really that simple. You really don't need to be focusing on all of these old school on-page SEO strategies because, again, from our experience, it's a complete waste of time. Spend that time and create solid content. The next one is SEO Isn't Fast. Let me give you an example. We moved from Tampa to Philadelphia about 4 years ago. And when we came to Philadelphia, well, guess what? We had to start from scratch in this very competitive, flooded market. And it took me about 10 months to start actually ranking our website in local search and really get solid leads coming in. And so 10 months, that's almost a year. So I'm going to go ahead and say that in most cases, it's going to take months, maybe even close to a year for you to start seeing solid, consistent, results from trying to target keywords or whatever it is that you're trying to do. So there's still like this myth out there that, that's not true. That's not true. You could just find the right guy. He could do it. He can get you ranked in a week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever it may be. That's what you call black hat. And when you start going down that route, you're putting your whole business on the line. And what I mean by that is if you start to hire guys who are doing really shady stuff, or these are guys you're hiring off of Fiverr or whatever it may be. They promise you the world. They're going to be like, hey, I'll get you ranked in a week. That what they're doing is they're finding really shady things to try to outsmart Google and rank you. And by doing that, yeah, you might see some short-term results. You might even be page one, position number one. But guess what? The second that Google finds out that your website is doing these bad practices, they're going to penalize your website and they could completely remove you from Google altogether. You start getting penalties left and right. The more penalties you get, the less power you're going to have in the future. You do not want to go down this route. We don't ever deal with any of these people, and we never ever recommend that you even think like that. You have to understand that this takes time. There's nothing you can do about it. We didn't start to rank seriously until we started kicking out blog content consistently. And, we try to do one a week. You could do a couple a week, whatever it may be. You need to earn Google's trust at this point. You can't just put up a website and think it's going to rank in a day. It just doesn't work that way. So let's talk about trust for a second. If you think about Google as a person, this is going to be a weird metaphor, but think about Google as a person. She's been on a lot of bad dates, a lot of bad relationships over the years. She's been taken advantage of, not taken seriously. When you start to think about Google like that, it will start to make sense. You have to earn Google's trust these days. They are no longer just being taken advantage of. You have to really, really put in the hard work. And, I'll say this again a million times. You have to create real content for human beings. Then Google is going to start taking you seriously. It's not until you start to actually create valuable content that you're going to see real results in rankings. So it's, like I said, it's a weird metaphor, but if you kind of think about it that way, it makes sense. They no longer want bad actors to take advantage of their systems. So just stick with it and it will work in the long term. All right, so that's it for this video. I hope that this has helped you understand how SEO works these days and some of the steps that you can do moving forward. Again, I'll do a quick recap. SEO isn't about just installing a plugin on your website like a Yoast and just calling it a day. It's not about keyword research at all these days. It's not a fast process. And in the long term, you need to earn Google's trust in order to see real results. And that takes time. Now, I've said in the video before, what you need to do these days is just set up your website and make sure that it's optimized correctly on the front end and back end in order for search engines to crawl your website. Then you just create the content. I'll keep saying that over and over and over. So this is where we can help you. We can help you with a customized SEO audit on your website. So I will go through your website and look at 50 plus key metrics and just make sure that your website is set up correctly. And then from there, we can work together and fix some of these. Sometimes they're small little things that you just have to do a few little edits to your server, your website, and you'll be more optimized. Once you get that set up, then you can start to really do the fun work, and that's create the content and marketing and all that stuff. That's where the fun part comes in. So we're here to help you if you need an SEO audit. The link is in the description below. And of course, if you like this video, make sure you give a thumbs up. Leave any comments below with any questions, and we're here to help you. Again, this is Mark from Wiki Design. Thank you.